morning or afternoon or evening, level 10s. Today I'm going to make a quick presentation on the passive voice, just in case you missed my lecture online. Okay, so what is the passive voice? Well, I'll tell you. The passive voice, when we write sentences, we usually start with subject, verb, right? That's how we learn simple sentence structure, subject, verb. So that's when we're writing an active sentence, okay? So the active voice is very direct, like, for example, Michelle drew graffiti on the bathroom wall. The passive voice is less direct. It's almost flipping it on its head, okay? Here's an example of how we would change that sentence to the passive. Graffiti was drawn on the bathroom wall. Now, you'll notice there's an important bit of information missing here. Who did the drawing of the graffiti? You could add, graffiti was drawn on the bathroom wall by Michelle, but that sounds a little bit awkward. It's completely fine to do that, but for sure that puts the emphasis away from who's doing the drawing and makes the action emphasized, okay? So a writer decides whether to, oh, I made a grammar mistake. A writer decides whether to use the active or passive voice. And this decision either puts focus on the agent or the doer of the action, or on the action itself. So why would we even use the passive voice? Okay, well, it's actually fairly common in academic writing, where an impersonal or neutral tone is often preferred, and where the emphasis, again, is often on the results of studies, for example, or on events, big events that have happened, usually in the past, or the process of something happening, okay, rather than who is doing the process. Okay, so here's an example. When the vaccine had been produced, it was stored in containers and transported under military escort to the main hospital in the region. All right, so you can see that in this example, the focus is really on the fact that a vaccine was produced. It's not so important by whom. And then it talks about how it ended up getting into the right place, into the right hands, okay? And again, like, is it really important to know the names of the military personnel that did this action? Probably not. Okay, so when using the passive voice is useful, there's certain instances. Okay, so I've already mentioned to emphasize the act or the object of the sentence. Okay, so you could say, in the last 2 decades, considerable research has been done regarding climate change. So there's another point is when the agent is kind of unimportant. Okay, so for example, the restaurant was closed. That's the important information. By the health inspector, you could add that by phrase afterwards. When the agent isn't known, is already obvious, or we've mentioned it several times before, then that's another reason why you could use the passive voice. So here's a very simple example. My wallet was stolen. Okay, the important information here is that my wallet is stolen by someone. Okay, well, great. That's great, but it doesn't really matter. Another thing is to express information in a more polite way or to avoid blaming someone. So if people are using passive language, try and think, what is their reason for using it? So here's an example. Students are not always given the option of retaking a test. So in this sentence, there's nobody getting blamed for anything, right? So think about that when you read the passive voice. Okay. A note of caution. Now, I'm telling you, use the passive voice, but I'm trying to also say it's important when you use it and when not to use it. So apart from the reasons that I've just mentioned, you should only really use the passive voice when it's kind of necessary, all right? Generally speaking, a direct approach and using active voice is often preferred in writing. Okay, how to form the passive. This is where it gets fun. So it's generally speaking, to form the passive, you use a form of be and the past participle. You need to know your past participles. So here's an example. The threatening letter was analyzed by an experienced forensic linguist. Okay. The letter must have been written by 2 different people. This one even has a modal in it. A phone call had been made just before the attack. Okay, so you can see there's different verb tenses used in all of these. So let's have a closer look at the different kinds of grammar that form the passive. Okay, here's an example of a simple present. A new approach is needed. Okay, for the simple past, you use was or were. So the side effects of thalidomide were not known. And we've also used the negative in this one. You can see the negative is in between after the be verb. The present perfect, it's quite common to see the present perfect when using the passive voice. Fairy circles, which are oops, how did that happen? Sorry, darlings. Fairy circles, which are mysterious patterns on dry earth, have been found in Africa and now in Australia. Modals is another instance where you might use the passive voice with modals. So you put the modal first, then if you want to use the negative, then be, then the past participle. Okay, so cardiovascular disease later in life may be related to eating behaviors in young children. Now remember when I mentioned that using modals or hedging language is often also very important when making strong claims in academic writing. So make sure that you know how to use the modals, okay? Here's some modals of past possibility. So much of the damage could have been prevented if certain precautions had been in place. Maybe an earthquake, or you could use that kind of could have been prevented if somebody had done something differently. Gerunds and infinitives. Remember those? So here we go. For a gerund, you use being, past participle, and the infinitive, it would be to be. So here we go. The sense of being treated unfairly at work can cause depression. Or safety concerns regarding nuclear power plants need to be addressed. These are 2 common forms of using the passive voice in grammar. Okay, that's it. I want to thank you for your attention. And now get to work. Go and do your practice homework that I've posted for you and have a wonderful day.